Hello, hello, hello. I'm Nancy with Awakened Pathways, and I'm here today for the Awakened Voices series. This is number two in our series, and we're here today with Lorene, who has been a part of the Awakened Pathways page and community for about 2 months now, maybe three. Timing isn't
Mm,
good for me right now. I don't remember what day it is, so
Yeah,
could be
no, no,
longer.
not that long. No, no, no. I haven't been part of school for that long.
Oh, okay. So it's only been a couple of months then. Okay.
Yes, Max.
Beautiful. All right. Lorraine, tell me about yourself. Who are you? Where are you?
Well, I'm in Melbourne, Australia. So
Uh,
if you hear my accent, that's where it is from.
Melbourne, United
And
States, Melbourne, Australia. Good deal.
hello. Yep. See one in the United States. I thought there was one in Canada, but okay.
There might be.
Oh, there might be one in Florida or something, isn't there? I
We're in
think.
Florida. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I'm in Melbourne, Australia, so a little bit cooler, I think, than Florida is temperature-wise. And
Most of the time, yeah.
we're coming into spring, so it's beautiful. Well, it's going to become beautiful pretty soon, hopefully. It'll warm up a little bit.
Very good.
And I'm a holistic counselor. I do a lot of root cause therapy. I also do past life regressions and I do holistic counseling. So everybody comes to me and what they need is very different. So there is no set formula for anybody because everyone's different with unique products and problems and things. So I deal with people who are lost or going through trauma. They might be confused, don't know where they're heading in life or anything like that. And that's what I do. And my spiritual journey has been an ongoing one for, I don't know, I think since I was little. I was brought up as going to a Presbyterian church and going to Sunday school. So I did that back in the 60s. And then sort of left the church but looked at other things and learnt different bits and pieces. And I just go down my own path discovering different things. I was listening to somebody talk about Kabbalah the other day, and I'm thinking, yes, I agree with that. Tick, 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 tick. So I've never studied Kabbalah, but what I can see from their philosophies is pretty much what I believe. But I don't know. I don't know what I am, who I am, or I just am. I am me.
Well, that's a wonderful place to be because when you accept who you are, that pure acceptance means that you are moving on your path. So that's a
Absolutely.
wonderful way.
Absolutely.
So, has there been anything or an experience that actually woke you up to your holistic counseling or
No, I don't think there's a particular thing that event that happened. It's just a series of aha moments as you're going along and going, oh, I like that. Even from reading James Redfern's books. Oh, I can't think of the names of them, but there was three books, and I read them in the 90s, and it was like, oh, that's really, really interesting. Um, then I then I've done lots of little short courses and lots of self-development stuff as well, which is all in that same thing. Then, I went and so it would be probably about 12 or 13 years ago. I went and studied with a lady who was teaching psychic abilities, wondering, I wonder if I could do this, and all of a sudden found that I could read cards and just pull things out for people. Um, and before that, I'd thought, like this is crazy. I can't do that. I must be imagining what I'm hearing. But then when actually started speaking what I was hearing in very controlled circumstances, because there's no way I was going to tell the rest of the,
so you
population that I
when
could
you
do
get your
this.
messages, you filter them so that you're not telling everybody everything that you have.
Oh, very, very much so. Especially initially, it was like
Okay.
you know. So I often hear things and, you just think, oh, yeah, I don't know where that's come from, but okay, whatever. And, bury it. And after doing this program, it was like, oh, wow, this was, I can actually do this, I think. But I didn't think that I could turn up to a psychic fair and sit there and read cards for people. I probably actually could now.
Is
You
that
know,
something you would be interested in doing, or is it just something that you could do?
something I could do. And it's really funny. Before I see a client, first of all, you've got to find out where they are in their own, whether they believe in anything a little bit different. But I always pull a card to see what it is. And I have one set of cards which I always pull for clients. It's really quite bizarre. And I look at it and I think, what do they need to know today? And I pull this card out and I think, why do they need to know that? By the end of the session, when I come back and look at the card, I go, oh my goodness. And the whole session has actually been around what that card was in the beginning.
Oh, very
And
good.
that's when I read the card and I read the book out to them because I know that book is their final message and say, well, this is what I pulled before our session, and it says this, and this is what the message says. And they all sit there and go, oh, wow.
That's
So
excellent.
I am a member of another group, and one day I just pulled a card for everybody, and everyone's going, "Oh, yes, that's just so appropriate." So I can do it. I know I can do it, and it's fun. It's not something I
Well,
dabble in.
you do it for fun for you, but not
Yeah,
as a way of
no,
survival.
no,
Okay. I feel
no.
the same way. Everybody who knows me always laughs at me because years I walked around saying, I don't read cards. I'm not reading cards. I'm not psychic. I can't do this. And I am.
Yeah, yeah,
So everybody
yeah,
laughs at me now because I've stepped into the role. So all of those who knew me before, when I was sitting there going, no, not doing it. Nope.
yeah, yeah,
But if
yeah.
that's a way you
Exactly.
want to go, that's a wonderful way to go.
Oh, exactly, exactly. I just think it's one of my tools in my toolbox.
Hmm.
It really is just another tool in the toolbox. And I've actually realized that when I'm seeing clients, I'm actually using my intuition and my psychic ability because I know what to ask next. I even know what the answers are before they
Good
tell me.
deal.
And I know where to direct them to get the answers from. And I was thinking this the other day and I'm thinking that's all psychic ability. That's not.
Hmm.
And that's what problem, and I say this, like not ego driven, but that's what makes me so good at what I do is because I actually use that intuition.
Hmm.
I actually let it come out and let it take me where I need to go.
Well, that's very much what a holistic practitioner has to do. They have to
Yeah.
rely on their connection so that
Yeah.
they can get the messages to pass them on.
Yeah.
So, who is a typical client for you?
A typical client can be anybody, but at the same time, I like working with older women who are lost. They've gone through maybe divorce. They just don't know where they're heading. So there's someone probably similar age to me, so
Hmm.
50 plus, who are looking for direction.
Okay.
That's, but in saying that, I get men come in, I got,
Hmm.
young girls come in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, being on the Awakened Pathways page, we've got a lot of women who are opening to the way that they're working, to their pathways.
Mm,
So having you on board and that's a really great way for people to start connecting so that you can, you know, get to know them and they get to know you and, maybe they want to work with you.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So there's a lot
And,
out there right now.
and Zoom is our best friend. And
Absolutely.
And it doesn't matter, you can do a full hypnosis with someone on Zoom and you can absolutely tune in with them and know exactly what's happening with them and what's happening.
So
Yeah.
when you do your past life regressions, are you doing hypnosis or are you doing any
Yes.
kind of Okay, so you're doing a good hypnosis.
Yeah.
What are you finding in your past life regressions? How are people going? Are they going into past life regressions,
Yeah.
or because what I've noticed that my past life regressions are going more towards future now. They're not looking at the past anymore. A lot of them that I've been getting, they're starting to look into the future self versus the past self.
Yeah, no, I haven't had that at all. I've had them going back into
Good.
the past. Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
good.
But I suppose I direct them that way because we're usually looking for a problem to solve
Mhm.
something in this lifetime. So maybe I'm not directing them into the future.
Oh, it's it's not so much directing or not directing. It's more of I let my clients kind of we go towards a scenario, and if they go past, they go
Yep.
past. If they go future, they go future. So,
Okay.
and a lot of times lately we've been going a lot future. It's really interesting because the average time forward is about 3,000. So, and what the world looks like in
Mm.
3,000. So it's been very
Oh,
interesting.
oh, that would be interesting.
So if you happen to get a client that wants to go forward or backwards, you might be able to get it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, 3,000 forward. That would be really.
It's really neat the way that they
Yeah.
describe it too. So where
Mm.
for the most part we have bodies, but we're light bodies. We're not eating. We don't have to unless we want to. We can move through thought, and everybody goes to the same field where everybody is meditating in a field as light bodies. And it's like, well, that's interesting. Two people ago was in that field, and then the next one would come and go into that field. It's like, I wonder if it's all
Oh,
one field.
oh, wow.
So just a thought if you want to do it.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah,
it's when you hit on hypnosis, I go, yeah, because I've been a hypnotist for 10 years, so I'm kind of oh, I love it. But
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
tell me, how would you describe yourself right now versus what you were when you first started?
Oh, when I first start, I don't know when that would be. Isn't it funny? I don't have a start and a finish time. People say, "How long have you been doing this for?" I don't know. I
It's your
don't
life. You live the life, and that's a great thing.
know. But how have I evolved over the years? Oh my goodness, I was, I was stuck in a marriage that I was never going to leave in, and I am so grateful he cleared off with someone else. Thank goodness. And I had to reinvent myself and find myself. Now, before that, I was going nowhere, doing nothing. Yes, the spiritual side was always in there. It's never not been in there. But I had made a decision that I was not going anywhere. And that was my life forever. And I was just going to have to put up with it. And that was it. So who am I now? Oh my goodness. I've am such a different person. You couldn't recognize the old me to now. I'm just not even in the same shell. I just don't belong where I was before.
And when you
And
think back on it, it
so
seems like
grateful.
another person, doesn't it? Like somebody
It
that's
really
completely
does.
foreign.
It really does. And and just then I was trying to put myself back into that person to describe myself then, and I went, and there's a part of me that never wants to go into that person again,
Hmm. Oh,
you know?
I understand.
Yeah. No, no. So who am I now? I am so different, so I don't know, maybe that's what the awakening, I'm not even sure what they mean by the awakening, that sort of thing, because it's been such a long process of me growing to where I am now. I am just such a different person that, yeah, I
Well,
can't
that's
describe it.
amazing. That's a great pathway because you've done just what you were shown and you've walked it.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
that's beautiful.
yeah, yeah,
You trust that all that you have that isn't working for you, even though it's comfortable, it's okay to walk
yeah,
away from.
Yeah.
And look
Well,
how good you're doing.
I got shoved away from it because I wasn't walking.
Okay.
I was not walking. There's no way I was walking. Yeah, that was my life. And I made that decision. I literally made that decision. I was listening to Tony Robbins one day and I bought his CDs. I'd found them in an op shop. I don't know, a secondhand shop for those. Don't know if you have
Uh-huh.
op shops. And I picked them all up. I picked up this great big set for $30. And I went,
Nice.
yes. And was listening to them one by one. And Tony Robbins said, you can never change someone else, you can only change yourself.
Hmm.
So no matter how much you want to change someone else, you can't do it. All you can do is change yourself. And by changing yourself, that's where you might be able to influence another person. And at the time, I was sitting there looking at my ex-husband, and I can't do anything about him. And this is my life forever.
Okay.
I'm going to be just like his mother, she really was a shell of herself, and she'd gone into Alzheimer's and was really quite a sad, pathetic person. That's my life.
Hmm.
And I'd resigned to it. And it was like, right. And then when he left, I was shattered because how do I survive? How do I look after myself? I'm not capable of doing anything. He always told me I couldn't do anything. So what am I going to do now? You know, how do I do anything? And I had to learn. I had to learn. And first of all, I had to find out who I was. I had to work out what I liked because I didn't even know what I liked. I had to cook what he wanted for dinner. I had to dress the way he wanted me to dress. I had to have my hair the way he wanted me to have my hair. I was really conforming. And
I
I'd
understand.
lost myself, totally lost. So by finding myself, first of all, what do you want to do with your life? I don't know. Where do you want to live? I don't know. How are you going to survive? I don't know.
But you seem to be doing it, don't you?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's
Oh,
very
yeah.
good.
So I couldn't thank him more than anything else. And I also can't thank him enough for taking me away from me so then I could go and rediscover who I was. You've
Very
got to
good.
look at all of what he gave me. By taking it away, gave me the opportunity to learn to grow, which I
Yeah.
may not have done if I hadn't have had it taken from me.
You sit in the comfort, as
Yeah.
miserable as it is, you stay in the comfort of what you know.
Because it's known.
It's known, you know what the reactions are, you know how
Yep.
miserable you're going to feel,
Yep.
but you know it. When I
Yes.
walk out that door and I'm by myself, what am I going to feel like?
That's right.
So that's a
Yep.
hard pill, and that's where a lot of people get stuck.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was in a very similar situation where I was married for 25 years, and except mine had a little bit of violence to it. So the violence begot me going to get out of it because he didn't leave. He he decided that
Yeah.
he wanted to do something else. So that pushed me out the door.
Yeah.
And after that, things changed. Life changed. The world
Yeah.
changed in my eyes.
Yeah.
So when you
Yeah.
look at the world after you've been in a situation like that and you go, okay, the world's not as scary as I thought it was.
No. No.
No,
Yeah.
you did a wonderful job and you are really thriving through all the adversity that you went through. That's amazing.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
So, so what helps you to stay connected in this feeling? How do you keep yourself in this, and I'm going to use a word that's probably not the right word, but this euphoric feeling of being connected and being within the energy that you like, that you live in, that you work in?
So, daily practices basically are probably what I threw myself into was education and educating myself. So, every morning I spend time learning, listening,
Hmm.
um, listening, meditation is there. Um, centering yourself. Music is another great one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and depending on where you want to go as to what sort of music you need to play.
Okay.
So, if you're on a Debbie Downer day, then you go straight for the happy song by Pharrell Williams that goes for an hour or something. And by the time you've danced around the house for an hour, singing the happy song, you cannot be Debbie Downer anymore.
That's excellent. So you find a way to bring yourself out of it.
Yes, you find different ways of bringing yourself out of it. So visualizations is another one. Yeah, it just depends on what I'm doing. I have a daily planner which I fill in and use that all the time. Um, so that's what I was doing this morning, was actually sort of grounding myself in visions and so forth.
Excellent.
So yeah, there's lots of different ways, and if you feel yourself going off and breathing, if you feel you're not connected,
Hmm.
breathing is another a great way of doing it. At the end of the day, basically, you've got to be able to recognize your thoughts and where you're going. And if you can recognize your thoughts and what's happening, then you can change it.
Excellent.
So you've got to be aware and notice. You've got to then choose to do it. We make choices, but we can also make choices and not do anything with the choices we make. We have to make a decision to actually change. So if you think about it, it's recognizing, choosing, deciding, then action.
Beautiful.
If you're going to put it into,
You put it
that's
into a way to
probably
follow so that you can move forward. Just little
yeah,
baby steps. Each time is a
exactly,
baby step.
exactly,
And
exactly.
sometimes it doesn't feel like anything is happening or that you're doing anything. You're taking that baby step and something is changing because it's changing within you.
Yes,
And once
yes,
you can change who you are and how you feel about yourself, then your outside world continues to change.
yeah. But you must take the action steps as well.
Hmm.
And the action steps can sometimes just be recognizing what's going on.
Absolutely.
Because I have clients and come to me and, we work out all this stuff. But when it comes to, homework, because it is homework and it is that
Mhm.
work that you have to do every time outside each session, they don't do it.
Oh, so you give homework too?
What are the action steps we need to take?
Yeah.
And those action steps are what they don't do. And it's interesting. And you go, okay, so they come back next week. Did you do that? Oh no.
And then they sit there and say, but nothing's changing. It's because you haven't made the decision yet.
Yeah,
And that's what I
exactly.
tell my clients all the time is you just haven't made that decision. And that's
Yeah.
fine. It
You've chosen to change. That's why you're coming to me.
Yep,
But it's
made
that
that
next
decision.
one. It's the decision that it is going to change, and then the action steps to actually follow it through.
Beautiful.
Mm.
So when you're working with your clients and when you're working with yourself and keeping yourself connected, are there any energies or any ancestors or anybody that you work with, or do you just connect straight in or
No, not necessarily. Look, my father is sitting on my back shoulder all the time, and there's
mm-hmm,
times I have to tell him to go away,
mm-hmm.
because he was annoying me too much. But not necessarily anyone I necessarily connect in with.
So you're connecting into the source and bringing all of that
Yeah,
into yourself. Excellent way to
yeah,
be. It
yeah.
that means that you're open and you're all the time you're basically connected. You don't have to
Mm,
think about that connection.
no,
Who am I calling
no.
in? Who do I ask for? What do I do? You know,
Mm,
you're keeping your connection open.
Yeah,
which is excellent.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Very
Mm,
good.
mm.
So, is there anything right now that you're kind of moving through and changing that you would think is important for others to know?
The belief systems that actually run our programming is probably what I'm working through at the moment. My own
Okay.
personal belief systems, because I've realized that we are run by certain programs, and unless we actually see those programs, we can't change them unless we see them
Hmm.
and recognize them. And so that's personally where I'm working through. Um, yeah, programs are very interesting.
Well,
It's a very interesting
when did
beast,
you
that one.
start noticing that it was something that you were programmed into versus something that you chose?
Oh, funnily enough, like I have mentors that I work with, and I
Mhm.
was working with someone and she got me to do this program. This was a quiz, and what came out nearly nearly blew my socks off. And it's like, oh, okay. So that's what's running me. So that's why I don't shift out of that gear because
Mhm.
that's the program that's running me that I now need to shift.
Okay.
So it's now it's now actually recognizing that when it comes up.
Very good.
Mm.
You've done so much work on yourself through this lifetime
Yes.
without even truly, a lot of people, they hang on to a pathway and I am this, I am that, I am a Reiki master. That is my path. That is my connection. But you've been able to do this on your own through your own connection, which is an amazing feat
Mm.
because you're basically walking through a path that you're creating.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But in saying that, I always have mentors. I'm always working with somebody.
Hmm. Okay.
And because you can't walk this earth alone, and you can't see in yourself what others can see in you.
Hmm.
And you would know that when you've got clients, you can see, it's written all over them, what's running them, what's happening,
Hmm.
but they can't see it. They're too
Well,
close to it.
it's you can't, just like you can't work with a family member, you can't
Yeah.
see or understand who you are unless somebody mirrors it back to you,
Yeah.
which
Mm.
is why people, as far as I'm concerned, why people sit there and say the same type of person comes into my life. Well, that's because they're
Mm.
mirroring you and you haven't figured that out yet so that those people don't have to come into your life anymore.
Mm.
Oh, and it's a wonderful way to be because once you really realize that that type of person flies away and you never see that type of person again, and all of a sudden new
Yeah.
people that are more aligned with you start coming.
Yes. Yes.
So it's really helpful
Yeah.
to be able to understand who you are. And
Mm.
all the work that you've done, you've really opened yourself up and allowed yourself to be right there making those decisions and
Yeah.
moving forward.
Mm. Yeah.
Congratulations. That's very good.
Yeah.
It's very impressive. So, is there any part of you that has awoken that you didn't realize was there as you've gone through this?
Oh, everything.
Everything?
Everything. Literally everything. Um, it's it's funny you say that. In the back of my mind, I always knew I was a powerful person put on this earth for some reason, but I didn't know what it was.
Hmm.
But that got buried because I didn't recognize what I was hearing. I couldn't see it, and I certainly didn't know what it was.
Hmm. Were you ridiculed as a child for hearing the voices or anything, or were your
Oh,
parents
I never told
supportive?
anyone. Oh, I never
Okay.
told anyone.
Okay. I was silly. I always told people.
Oh,
So,
did you? Yeah, no, I didn't tell anyone.
I've been listening to voices since I was a little kid, and everybody thought I was crazy. I wasn't. They were
Mm,
voices. They weren't mine.
yeah,
But when you're
yeah.
clairaudient, it makes you feel like you're alone because you're listening to things that other people can't hear. And just like somebody who sees, there's the clairvoyance, they're seeing things that I don't see. And it's like,
Mm,
oh, what do you mean there's somebody sitting next to me? Where? So, but I can
mm,
hear them. I can hear them saying, yeah,
mm,
I'm sitting next to you.
mm,
Um, so as you open all of your gifts, you're really you're really coming into it and you're really feeling it. And that's
mm,
wonderful work.
mm. And
Oh,
it's funny, my mother could obviously do the same thing, but she never talked about it either. And it's only been the last few years before she died that she actually sort of said, "Oh, yes, no, I've seen this and I've seen that." And it's like, oh, interesting.
well,
Yeah.
you live in an area where there's a lot that's going on. There's a lot of spirit, there's a lot of openness, there's a lot of land that speaks over there.
Mm, maybe. Is it? I don't know.
Mhm.
It's where I live.
Yeah,
That's my name.
I mean, I haven't been to Melbourne. As I was telling you, I've been to Sydney, but the land in New South Wales speaks, so
Yeah.
you can hear it. So I'm guessing the land in Melbourne's going to speak too.
I must admit, there is one area that I don't like going to, and
Mhm,
it's been redeveloped, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's in Port Melbourne, and it is just gorgeous. They've got all these, oh yeah, it's just totally magic. And every time I go there, I think, oh no, and I get the shivers, and I think, I'm sure there was an Aboriginal massacre here back, God only knows when. I'm sure there
mhm.
was, and
Oh, I think that
I
was
don't
all
know.
over.
I don't like it. I think, yeah, there was a lot of stuff happened there, and it was like, oh no. And I know that it's where the docks were originally, and
Hmm.
I'm sure there was lots of illegal stuff, and who knows what was happening on the docks back, you know,
Hmm.
yeah, in the 1800s. I don't know, but I just get in there and I get the shivers and go, oh no.
Well, go to a place that has the nature, go to a park or go to a space that has the trees and you'll be able to hear what I'm talking about because they will speak to you.
Yeah.
Oh, it's pretty
Mm.
amazing. And from what I've experienced on that side of the world, it is extremely strong. It's amazing. So the name of my company is called Nangamai Hypnosis, which is a Gadigal language for to dream.
Okay.
So,
Yep. Yep.
so it's like because that's where I opened up to all of my spirituality is when I was over there. Mhm.
Oh, no, Central Australia is meant to be incredible.
So it's
Around
really,
Uluru, that is meant to be the one of the places on this earth. Yeah.
mhm. So
Mm.
it's pretty amazing, and I'm very jealous that you live in that Melbourne. I'm very jealous, but that's
Oh, come and
okay.
visit. Come and visit. We can find you plenty of beds, so there's no accommodation. That would be nice.
I'm on my way. I'll be there tomorrow. Well, I'll be there in 3 days. But so as you've been traveling all through this and as you're learning who you are and experiencing your life through all of this changes and how you're creating your new future, how do you feel about it?
Oh, I love it. I'm excited. I'm excited for what can come. But there's also a part of me that's quite resigned too. That's, oh no, this might sound really silly. As I'm getting older, I know the wisdom is really coming up, but I know there'll be I'm quite resigned to leave as well. I
Hmm.
don't have to be here.
Okay.
Yeah. There's yeah, there's a part of me that says my time on this earth is now limited because
Mm-hmm.
I'm older.
Mm-hmm.
And and I'm also excited to go to the next place as well. So does that sound silly? That sounds
Not at
quite
all.
morbid,
Nope.
doesn't it?
No, not at all. Not at all. Um, from what we've heard and seen, people are coming into this time period knowing that they're creating that bridge so that others can cross. And when we get that bridge to
Yeah,
that specific point, we move on. It's not a
yeah,
sad thing, and it's
yeah.
not a scary thing.
No, no, no. It's
So,
not scary at all.
mhm.
No, no. And that is like, it's funny, as you said that, I know I was around, you know, 10,000 years ago. And my job then was to guide people from Lemuria,
Okay,
and they
that,
went
that was
missing
my next
generations.
question. Are you Lemurian?
Yeah, yes,
Okay.
yes. And I got off and I took a lot of people off and I guided them. I know that I was sitting in was like a gur or a tent or or a teepee or something like that, and was, I don't know how to put this. Like I was sitting there holding court, talking to people and explaining what was happening and offering peace and solitude. Or I don't even really know what I was doing, but I was,
Mhm.
and I feel like that's what my job is now in this lifetime. This sounds really bizarre, but it's like I know that the people that I guide
Mhm.
will ripple out.
Absolutely. It's absolutely. You don't go after the ones who aren't ready. You go to
No.
the ones that are reaching out to you and you
Yeah.
guide them over that bridge
Yeah.
because you've already been over the bridge.
Yeah.
You know what it
Yeah.
is, so you don't have to go over that bridge again.
Yeah. Exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
it in no way sounds weird or the one thing you're always going to find in spaces with me around is nothing's ever weird. You can't say something that is and say, "Oh, well, this is really weird," or you might not believe this. Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
Either I'm gullible or I'm ready to believe all that this universe has to offer. But that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So in your Lemurian lifetimes, you were basically a guardian and a bridge holder, which when you came back into that same type of a scenario right now,
Mm.
which is wonderful because it takes the pressure off of you.
Yeah.
Because you've already been there, you've already done this somewhere.
Very.
So
Yes.
there's no pressure for you. All you have to do is continue being,
Yes.
and people will
Yes.
start coming. It's
Yes.
excellent.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's amazing how in past lives it's just like it's a repeat without
Hmm.
being different. Yes, exactly.
Now,
Mm.
have you had any past lives that kind of surprised you or
Um, I saw my first past life when I was about 27.
hmm
That one. And I thought I knew everything about it. Then when I had a regression, I found out the rest of the details with it. And it was interesting. After that one, um, he then asked me, was there a similar lifetime? And he took me back to 1600 and I was a man and lived by the very male dominated rules. I was a lawyer
Oh,
and
okay.
made wills for everyone where, the everything got passed down to the sons, to the sons, to the sons.
Hmm.
And in that lifetime, I had women coming destitute because their husbands had died, and their nephews had inherited their husband's thing and they were out on the streets. And but things
Right.
get passed to the males, so you can't get anything. And as much as I was doing wills for everybody, all the men, to leave it to their male offspring or and male descendants, nothing was happening for their wives. And when I did my own will, I actually left my property to my wife, which was very against what I'd been doing all my life because I couldn't have her destitute.
That's the first,
That was,
that's awakening. That's walking this path, that light worker
yeah,
path. You're saving somebody.
yeah. And that was like, oh, that was really very interesting.
Very cool.
Very interesting. Mm.
And as you think about that now, how does that affect today?
Ah, probably in lots of ways, but lots of little ways which you wouldn't even realize, open-minded
Hmm.
um, is one way. He was very career driven, which I suppose I'm focused. I wouldn't say I'm career driven, but I'm focused on my path, um, which would go through there. Um, Educated, self-educated. I'm self-educated. He was well educated to being a lawyer.
Hmm.
Um, yeah,
It's pretty cool.
yeah, pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's wonderful when you can go through and have that experience and be able to, you know, kind of dissect it a little bit and figure out where you come into it.
Yes, yes. Well, that affected the next life more than affected this life.
Okay.
But- And the next life, it very much affected. And there's parts of that life that is repeated again in this life. And it's like, wow. Not so much the legal bit, but yeah. Mm,
Well, that's something that you're working on in this life to just kind of poof away, get rid of
mm,
it.
mm,
So,
mm.
and you feel good about the purpose that you have in this life?
Yeah.
Good.
Yes.
That's wonderful.
Yes. Yes, definitely. Definitely. Because I know that I can help so many people.
Because you've been through it.
Yeah.
And
I've
even if
walked
you haven't
past.
been through it in this lifetime, you've been through it. So it's kind of in your cells. You know what it is.
Yes, exactly.
Excellent.
Exactly. Yeah. Mm.
So if you were to speak to somebody who was just beginning, who's just starting their journey, and they're nervous and they don't understand, maybe they're overwhelmed by all that's happening, what kind of advice would you give them?
Yeah, don't be nervous. Don't be overwhelmed. Things will come, things will be exposed when they're ready to be exposed. Just be open to accept them.
Very
Come
good.
from your heart, feel into your heart, breathe,
That's a big one.
breathe.
I always find it kind of interesting that you have to teach people how to breathe.
Yeah,
But we as a
yeah,
society have forgotten that breath is our life force.
absolutely. And come from the heart.
Hmm.
You know, the first time, I ever had to get into my heart, I went, what are you talking about? Be in your body. How do we have to teach people this? But we
Hmm.
do,
It's, but
you know.
people are learning and they're understanding and they're working so much better at kind of getting into these spaces.
We are so cerebral as a community. It's everything comes out of the head.
Hmm. Well,
Mm,
they say that, the mind actually sits here and here in the solar plexus. So in your heart and in your
Yeah.
solar plexus is where you actually think from.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
Yeah. You feel it in your heart before you think it in your head.
yeah.
So,
So there's
and
a
it takes,
brain in the head, but the mind is in the body.
yeah. Mm. And I said that to a heart doctor. I can't think of what they called. No, I can't remember what it was called, but he was doing heart tests on me, and I said, "You do realize that we think and everything comes from our heart." And he looked at me like I was, well, no, that's where the blood just
Right.
pumps through there and then it goes up to the brain. Yeah, no.
Now there's more to the heart. There's more to the it's energy. It's all energy.
And he didn't know that. He absolutely had no concept about what I was talking about.
Did he listen?
I think he thought I was a bit wacko, but that's all right.
Okay.
That's his problem.
Doctors are doctors.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But breathing into your heart and bringing that energy into your body, it's going to change everything.
Mm. Yeah,
It feels good too. I know
yeah.
I spend my first session with most people just teaching them how to breathe, not to go.
Mm,
It's
mm,
like you got to breathe into your body. You got to bring it in.
mm.
But
Yeah,
so
yeah.
as you walk your path, is there something in particular that you've learned that you would like to tell people who are just starting?
Oh, I don't know where you'd start with that question. That's probably listen to your thoughts more than anything else.
Okay.
Be aware. Oh, but maybe that's down the track. I mean, I, everything, it's all connected. There's not one thing that's not connected to another.
It's very true. Very true.
Trust your intuition, trust what you think, trust what you hear, you think, you feel. Be aware of your feelings. Feel for a start, if you're
Mhm.
just starting out, sometimes, we're so good at bottling things up,
Mhm.
bottling emotions up that we don't have emotions. Um, yeah, and trust that they're there.
Good. That's a really powerful thing to work with is your own thoughts and your
Yeah,
own
yeah,
perceptions.
yep, yep. If you'd said to me, 20 years ago, you're angry, I would have said, I've never been angry in my life. And
Hmm.
I hadn't. I never had. 20 years ago, I'd never felt anger because it was all bottled up.
Hmm.
That was emotion that had just been totally buried.
Just kind of push it down to the tips of your toes.
I'd also buried joy
Hmm.
and I'd buried pleasure as well.
Okay. And have you found joy and pleasure in this world now?
Oh, I think so.
Oh, good. So it's coming out from the tips of the toes now and it's kind of coming up.
Yeah. Yes.
Good.
Yes. Yeah.
That's
And,
wonderful.
and these are basic emotions that some people have just never felt.
Well, maybe they haven't been safe to feel them
Mm,
or with you. When you start working with them, you're creating a safe space for them so they can feel it,
mm,
so that they can mirror back to you and kind of
mm,
start to feel all those emotions and start to realize that it's not as bad as it could be.
mm,
And honestly, you're always going to be taken care of. You just have to
mm.
believe it.
Yep, absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely. Yeah, there's so much, and I was having a session with someone the other day on Zoom, and I said, but my reality is I'm looking at you and I'm looking at the picture behind you, and there's a plant over in the side. My view of you is very different to your view of me, which is looking at a pile of blur.
Mm-hmm.
And your reality is your background is blurry. Mine is, oh, there's an interesting, it looks like it could be um, a picture of a seascape, and that's a
Mm-hmm.
lighthouse, and
Yep.
that's my reality. That's my
Yep.
reality. Now, my reality is absolutely right, and your reality is absolutely right.
Because
And we
everybody
come,
perceives things through their own filters.
yep, you've got four people sitting around a table, and they're all looking in a different direction, and they're all of them, their reality is very different.
It's
They're all right.
and well, that's what I find with my clients, trying to express to them that you're seeing this is a problem that you're seeing. This is what you're going through. I see it totally different. So I can't, I can mirror it back to you, but I can't be a part of it because I don't see it the same way you do.
Mm,
So a lot of people want me to feel the way that they feel. It's like I can't because I didn't go through the things that you've gone through. I haven't seen the things that you've seen. So whereas I
mm,
can empathize with it,
mm,
I can't feel it.
mm.
It's all up to you to do the work.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
Mm,
it's very good.
mm,
So I really am happy that I was able to sit down with you, and it's been wonderful to talk to you.
mm.
And do you see outside clients, or how do you get your clients to you?
Normally they send me a message, get in touch with me some way, and we
Okay.
communicate. So, in Australia they obviously ring me, but
Well, because what I'll do
send me a
is
message.
I'd like to put your either your website or your
Yeah.
email or so that people can contact you if the
Yeah.
work that you're doing is something that they can
Yeah, absolutely.
be with.
Yeah, absolutely. Send me an email, contact me through the community, send me a
Mhm.
message, something. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm.
You've done amazing work for yourself and for others, and it's just so
Mm.
wonderful that you're a part of this community with us. And I'm really happy that you found us, and I hope that we will interact more as time goes on.
Sounds fantastic, Nancy. Love it. Love it.
And I'm just going to sign off now and say thank you to Awakened Pathways, and we're going to talk again soon. Bye bye.
Absolutely. Thank you.